What is up, guys, and welcome into another episode of the Gordy Bonker Show. It has been a busy week here, to say the least. I just got back from an awesome weekend out at the Philly show. One of my favorite card shows across the country. It has such good representation for the vintage community. Love to get out there, see a bunch of dealers and friends, and a lot of new friends that I got to make over the weekend. So I'll be talking a little bit about that here in the intro today. Today's interview is actually going to be a live interview I did on the floor at the Philly Card Show, hosted by Mike Powers and Sheffield Shuffler. The Divide Live, which aired on Philly Fox Sports Radio as well as iHeartRadio. Really cool experience for me to get to go on air with those guys. I have the whole interview for you guys to listen to. We probably talked for about 45, 50 minutes, covered all sorts of good stuff from my background, vintage sports cards, the rise in alternative assets. We talked a little golf. All great stuff, so I'm really excited to be able to bring that interview to you. But yeah, want to talk a little bit first just about my summary of the whole weekend because, man, it was a blur. There was so much stuff happening for me. One of the cool additional things that I got to experience with the Philly show is that I got to bring along with me my childhood best friend, Anthony, who has been recently getting back into the sports card hobby. Me and him traded cards when we were 8, 9, 10 years old, and he's been kind of seeing from afar my growth in the hobby, and he's been interested to get more into it. So we got him set up at his first big Philly show. He's gone to local shows, but this was the first really big Philly show. I got to bring him with me. He helped film some content with me, and it was a really cool experience on that side of things. And yeah, you can check out Anthony's new Instagram. I believe it is AJL_cards. Really neat for him to start his hobby journey and see some of the things that he observes as sort of a newbie into it was pretty cool. But when we were out there, I got to see all sorts of really interesting deal flow on the floor. I will say the market is continuing to show its strength. I actually sold my 5.5 Mickey Mantle. That was the biggest sale of the weekend at the show for me. I sold it. It was pretty funny. I was trying to sell this Mickey Mantle rookie for 3 months at the last comp, $42,000. It sold back in August. It was a 5.5. And no one wanted to pay the last comp. Well, over the weekend when I was at Philly, there were 2 new comps that came in for the 5.5s at $55,000 and $52,000. So the first dealer I showed it to, I actually asked $43,000, and he took it happily. So that was my biggest sale, and it goes to show in an uptrending market, sometimes paying at the most recent comp when it was from 6 or 7 months ago is a good deal. I probably left a good amount of room on the table in that deal, but I was into it at the right price. Wanted to sell it. Like I said, I had it for a while and was able to move it. And then shortly after that, I actually bought and sold a 4.5 Mickey Mantle Bowman rookie. So it was a busy weekend on that front. Speaking of sales as well, I have a deal pending right now awaiting the wire payment for my 84 star Michael Jordan, which was a big sale. And I mentioned it last week, my 86 Fleer 9.5 rookie. I sold this as well. So the kid's hot right now. Lots of sales. The last big one I have yet to sell is my 86 Fleer signed rookie, which I talked about on the pod last week, as well as talked on the interview later in this episode. You'll hear me talking about how rare a playing career signed Michael Jordan auto is. So I do have that, which is pretty neat. But so yeah, sales were moving. I got lots of deals done on that side of things. Ton of networking opportunities. Really, I want to give a big shout out to Christy and Joe, who owns and operates and runs the show. Christy runs the social media for the Philly show, and she was just so delightful to work with. She gave me and Anthony a tour of the whole operation in the back room. Got to see a lot of the athletes, which was also a really neat experience for me. You guys might have seen some of my videos that I posted of me getting too afraid to introduce myself to Mariano Rivera. I mentioned I was at the show with Anthony. Me and Anthony actually watched Game 6 of the 2009 World Series together at my house when we were 13 years old. Me, Anthony, and my little brother. We watched it together in my basement. I can clearly remember us jumping up and down, running around like maniacs in my basement after Mariano closed out Game 6. And for me to get to meet Mariano and see him with Anthony there with me was such a cool experience. Like, I'll remember it for the rest of my life. I don't usually get nervous talking to people. If you guys have known me or follow me for a while, I like to talk. I've always been conversational, but I got really nervous talking to Mariano Rivera. My buddies made fun of me because me and Anthony told the story when we came back home. When I walked up to Mariano, he was walking from station to station on an autograph. And I walk up to Mariano. I don't even introduce myself. I go, "Hey, Mariano, this is my friend Anthony." And he's like, "Okay." And I'm like, "We watched you, our whole life growing up. Huge fans, would love to get a picture." And he was like, "Absolutely, man, let's do it." And we took a selfie, and it was a funny moment because I was really nervous. So I did meet a couple other awesome Hall of Famers as well. I actually sat down next to Chipper Jones. I talked to Chipper Jones for a couple of minutes, talking about what it's like for him now coming to these shows. And one of the neat things, I saw him reconnect with Mike Piazza back there. I saw them talk for a little bit. One of the things that's cool for these athletes is when they go to these signings, they get to see their old teammates, interact with the fans again, which was neat. And Chipper kind of jokingly said, in the Northeast, they don't particularly love him so much, him being always playing against the Mets and the Phillies. But it was neat to talk to Chipper for a little bit. And then I also introduced myself and talked to Raleigh Fingers, which was neat. I actually owned one of Raleigh Fingers' rookie cards that was from his personal collection that he sold to Marcel at Chasing Cardboard. So I bought it from Marcel, which was pretty neat. I had it in my PC for a while, so I mentioned to him that one of his rookie cards came through my collection at one point. And Raleigh Fingers as soon as you see him with that iconic mustache. So it was really cool to talk to Raleigh for a minute. And then, it was just an overall awesome experience. Got to do a couple of interviews, shot more content, got some deals done, like I said. So it was a great show, and I can't wait to go back. And I'm hopefully going to have some more interviews scheduled with some of the people that I met at the Philly show. And it was a great time. So if anything, the big takeaway is that the hobby is so strong right now. There's so many people coming into it, new collectors, old collectors. Every dealer that I spoke to talked about how strong sales were, and you could see it. The attendance of the show was absolutely packed. So it was an awesome time at the Philly Card Show. I'm excited to bring to you guys this interview with the Divide Live. Like I said, this aired on Philly Fox Sports Radio and iHeartRadio. Mike Powers and Sheffield Shuffler are the two co-hosts you'll hear me talking to. And it was a great time, man. I got to tell them all about my story. And we got to talk a little golf. As I mentioned, we are getting closer to golf season. I'm wearing the Rose golf polo this weekend. The Rose was a newer course that opened in central New Jersey. I played it a couple times last year with a great client of mine. And I just can't wait to get outside. I think it's like sunny and 75 today. One of the cool things, I'm excited. I'm actually not hosting a Bonkers Cards live show this Sunday night because I'm going to be going to Florida. I fly down to Florida on Thursday, and I'm playing with a couple college buddies, a golf trip. I'm playing the Park down at West Palm Beach, which is a newly renovated Gil Hands redesigned course. I'm so excited to get to see that. And then a couple other courses down in the West Palm Beach area. So excited to get to play some golf. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the forecast changed because there's a little bit of rain in there. But nonetheless, I will be excited to be teeing it up, man. So with all that said, really excited to bring you guys today's interview, and I will see you guys next week for another episode of the Gordy Bonker Show. Here you go, guys.
All right, and we are back at the Philly show, fouled back into the stands. We have a special guest joining Mike and Chef here. Gordy, what's up, my man?
What's up? Thank you so much for having me, man. This is awesome.
Bro. This is awesome.
Gordy,
Thanks,
yes.
I got to ask, first Philly show?
Not my first Philly show. I've been coming to the show for probably 3 years or so.
It's awesome.
But it's my first all-access Philly show, I'll say that.
All right. Joe, the creator of all this.
The man behind the whole...
He doesn't like it. He's going to be so mad I said that. But he took a liking to everything you're doing in the vintage card game, right?
Yeah.
And, a guy that knows the hobby back and front, to get that nod is like kind of like Ted Williams, saying, hey, this guy's got it. So, tell us about everything you're building, what you're doing, and maybe share some of the stuff you got with us.
Yes, I've got a box of goodies that I'll be showing off here. So a little bit of excitement coming there. The origination of my whole brand and business started probably 4 or 5 years ago. I was doing social media content originally around the financial services world. I was a recruiter on Wall Street, and I was writing a lot about the job market, stock market economy, and I stumbled across sports cards being talked about as an alternative asset class.
Right.
Buying and selling sports cards was becoming really popular. This is 2020, 2021, and I wrote a piece about the rise of alternative assets. in the card market. Went to my first card show with a buddy. I was curious to learn more on it. I was fascinated on how much money is transacting on this floor. In a given day. Like, we're talking millions and millions of dollars. And I was like, this is crazy. So
some by like 10-year-olds.
Right. Yeah, it's nuts. You know, there's 10-year-olds behind us that are slinging $10,000 cards.
Yeah, yep. Amen.
And I went deeper down the rabbit hole. I started a TikTok channel, Bonkers Cards, and I was just documenting the whole journey of learning about sports cards. I was buying, I was selling, I was trading. But the other piece to it is I love the history of baseball. I've been that kid since I was a little kid, loving to, learn about Mickey Mantle, Babe Ruth, Garrick. I'm a big Yankees fan. I know I'm in Phillies country.
Yeah.
But
Met fan.
Oh, are you a Met fan?
Yeah.
He's got the Phillies hat. And practically looks like
from Chicago.
He looks like Kyle Schwarber. It looks like I'm literally podcasting with Kyle Schwarber.
Did we tell you?
Yes, you showed me the video
Carl
beforehand.
Schwarber.
It's crazy.
Oh man, I think he's better than Kyle, in my humble opinion.
Well, we know that.
I'd rather be with Carl than Kyle.
So I was fascinated at how much money was transacting. I started documenting my journey with it, and I was infusing a lot of the history of baseball. And as I got more popular with it, I started doing less financial media content and more on just sports cards, buying, selling, and talking about it, the investing side to it. Because if you look at the market for this stuff, it has outpaced most assets, both in the stock market as well as physical assets.
Amen. Yeah.
And so started writing and talking about it more on my newsletter. I write weekly on my newsletter, Bonkers Cards Weekly. I do that on Substack. You can check it out, bonkerscards.substack.com.
That's awesome.
And yeah, man, now I've got over 50,000 followers on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. I've got a podcast, The Gordy Bonker Show, with the Sports Card Nonsense Media Network. And I love it. I get to travel the country, buy, sell crazy collections, and then film a lot of content at card shows and meet people like yourselves. So
we were talking like Home Shopping Network, that viral video where the guy's like, if you buy this, that girl sees you, you're the cock of the walk. Like, you're that guy. Like, and like, it's so funny because like back then, like that and Beanie Babies were on the Home Shopping Network, like a little bit, right? A few video games got in there, but now with like everything, Substack, like all these different channels you could create, you're essentially the new Home Shopping Network.
It is so true, like the evolution of like how we have been shopping. Like, I wasn't around for like the pinnacle of like that home live shopping on television, but what we're seeing now with TikTok Shop and whatnot and eBay Live and all these platforms, like people want to open their phones and be entertained.
Hell yeah.
And they want to shop. And for sports cards specifically, like this is the foundation of like that crossover of people's interests, entertainment. There's like that trading element to it.
Yeah.
And
I like watching people just open up packs. Like we watch Deep Pocket Monsters. The Should I Open It or Keep It Sealed? Me and my daughter. And if it says watch, it'll rat you out. If I watch it without her, I'll get in trouble.
Yeah.
Like, that's how cool this hobby is getting for all generations. But also, like, real quick, and then I want to hop right back in here. It's our Mona Lisas. This is our art. This is our version of, oh man, you bought a statue. Like Steve Cohen bought a figurine this big for $2 million.
Yes.
Well, I'd rather have what's in your case.
I totally get it. I think you're spot on, and I think what's interesting is if you look at the valuation of the really high-end art market, we're not talking 6 figures. We're not talking 7 figures. We're not even talking 8 figures in some cases.
Yeah.
Like the high-end art market is insane, and the high-end sports card and collectibles market is not near that yet in valuation. And to be honest, to your point, like this is our artwork, and our generation is flocking to this stuff, not only because we love the visual of the card that we can hold, but it's also that nostalgic factor.
Oh, heck yeah.
You're going back in time to that moment that you watched that player make that play, and it's such a more deeper emotional connection.
Yeah.
But that last piece that, I do find, super interesting on the live selling component is, like, not only it's almost taking from like the traditional way that you were watching a TV show back in the day, I can't watch this without my daughter, like she wants to see it. So it's just going to continue to kind of blend in terms of like what social media is and what shopping is. And how fast the platforms are changing. I've been on TikTok for a while. I started live selling in 2021 on TikTok Live. I live sell every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Currently on TikTok, but I might be shifting platforms soon. The consistency of me showing up there every 8 o'clock p.m. Sunday night and having that regular crowd walk in to that live show room. Now I've got 4,000 or 5,000 people that watch that show every Sunday night, and it's like to them, it's like Seinfeld. It's like what
I
they
was
want
gonna
to
say
tune
you're
in.
their Family Matters, bro.
Yes, it is.
You're Steve Urkel.
Yes.
No, I'm just kidding. But in all seriousness, like that is what I watched. Like TGIF was my Friday night. And like when it didn't happen, I was like, "This is weird. What's going on?" Like so yeah, that cadence is important. We talk about that on a broadcast schedule and everything. They want to tune in and know you're there, so you got that going for you. Before we get into your actual collection, have you ever been duped at all?
Duped. I have unfortunately been scammed a few times. There is an unfortunate component to what's happening here is that there's a lot, like I talked, there's a lot of money in this entire space, and that does bring a lot of bad actors and people that are in for the wrong reasons. So a couple of years ago, I had done a deal with a guy over Facebook, and it had gone swimmingly. I bought a couple Mickey Mantles, probably about $1,000 deal, nothing crazy. And then a few weeks later, he sent me more pictures and more mantles, and you see my shirt, got Mantle?
Got Mantle.
I'm buying Mantle every day. And so he sends me a big lot of probably like 4,000 or 5,000 in mantles, and I send him the money, and cards never showed up. And I was like, "Hey man, what's the deal?" Stopped hearing from him, and I never got the cards.
Damn.
He deleted his Facebook account, filed a police report and everything, but lost the money. And it was a good reminder. It changed the way that I do business now.
Right.
Like I have an established brand. People can trust me to send me cards, and when I buy collections, I pay them. I tell them what I'm going to pay them, but I tell them once I receive the cards, then I will pay you.
Good.
Because at that time in my life, that was soul crushing to lose that kind of money.
I mean, at any time, but like I know Major League Baseball players that would say like that's still, hits them hard. So, dude, it's so cool. I'm. The nostalgia is what I'm interested in. My favorite guy to collect was Howard Johnson. So I got Hojo. That's what I'd be wearing right now. Unfortunately, way different. Somebody offered me $1,000 Hojo card, I'd be like, wait a minute, what did you do with this? No, but in all seriousness, he was my guy. So I was an idiot trading Jordan cards or Shaq cards for Hojos, and I'd even get them on the Lions, the Rockies. I didn't care even after he left the Mets and went to Colorado. He was just my guy, but unfortunately, I rode the wrong.
Chips weren't behind the right horse on that side.
I think that's the coolest part. I mean, like, I don't collect cards, but investing early, then you can use your brain and being like, no, this guy has the tools. Let's invest early in his rookie cards, right? Like, is there anybody that you're invested in currently? Because I think that's the coolest part is like finding young prospects or guys in the league that you're like, he is going to be a multi-year all-star or a possible Hall of Famer. Like, I want to invest now. Do you see any of that? Like, are you investing in any young players?
So for me, I specialize mostly in vintage baseball.
Right.
So I'm buying guys that have established themselves. They are career legends because the valuations of that stuff continues to rise, and I feel a lot more comfortable entering into that market.
Sure.
When you look at the modern market, to your point, if you get in early on some of those guys, you can 10x, 20x, 100x your investment. Look at what happened to Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani, and those guys' cards. The downside of that is that 99% of those guys are not Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
So you are playing with fire when you're doing that. So from just the finance side of me, it's like I want the sure bet. I want to take Mickey Mantle, Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, Jackie Robinson, those guys.
The appreciating assets.
Yes, sir. And not to say that the modern stuff can't do that. And there are guys that get really into the weeds and follow like the best prospects and how these guys are performing in AA ball. And like this guy might be huge. And there is a massive market for that speculation. Just like if you look at the stock market, guys love to trade like small cap biotech stocks that like if they get this drug approval, this thing's going to the moon. Just like some of these minor league guys might be. But for me, I'm more of like let me buy a JP Morgan and let me buy Goldman Sachs and the best of the best and just ride it
I was heavy on Wander Franco.
It's a tough place to be, dude.
I was like, no, are you like, and there's no coming back from that. It's not like season ending surgery. Like, it's not like he turned into David Wright and didn't have a spine anymore.
Right.
This dude belongs in jail. And like, I'm like, what do I do? Like, so I put him in bike spokes. We like drew on him.
Sold them for $14.
It's
Oh,
tough. Guys
man.
lost their shirt on Wander Franco. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a whole list of guys that you go down that list, though. Wander Franco was on the cover of the product.
I know.
And so, I get worried about how much
Yeah.
money guys are putting into Paul Skeens right now. Like,
Yeah.
he is so
That stuff could
so
go quick.
young.
Look at Noah Syndergaard, man. I
Yes.
love him to death, but
Right.
that it comes and goes. That arm just when it
So,
goes, it goes.
When people come to me on what they should buy, I'm always pretty consistent in that messaging. It's like, if you want to speculate and have fun with it, there's probably a different, content creator or writer that can help you with the more modern market. For me, if you want to talk about vintage blue chip staple cards, like I've been fortunate enough to buy, sell, and broker cards of well over $1 million. And I feel confident every time in transactions like that I'm helping this guy out, not only for his collection, but as like a piece of his portfolio. So
Do you like some of the insertions that Topps is using, like
I
putting
do.
in the vault stuff? Like, has that made you chase anything?
I love what Topps is doing right now, Series 1, with the 52 Mantle Chase card.
Yeah.
I think that is an amazing way to get the vintage side of the hobby into ripping open modern product. I think, the hobby's backbone, in my opinion, is the vintage card collector.
Amen.
And I think they are kind of sitting on the sidelines for all of this modern product that gets released.
Yep.
And if we can get them involved, I would love to see, Fanatics continue to do that. So I love it. I myself might buy some packs just trying to chase it. But, I mean, the modern product is also a massive cash cow for a huge portion of the industry.
Well, to talk modern, and I'm kind of bummed, man. I came in here with an agenda, and that agenda got taken away from me like 3 hours before it started. Jonah Tong, rookie, New York Mets pitcher, signed a 1/1 rookie card in Mandarin.
Okay.
And I already have 4 of his rookie cards, and I'm like, dude, one day I'm going to open this. I swear it's going to – I was trying to manifest it, and then I find out some guy that owns a hobby shop just pulled it yesterday. So I was going to tear this – I was losing millions.
Yeah.
Like, I was going to tear this whole place up trying to find that thing. So I guess maybe it was divine intervention, but that would have been a really, really – as a Met fan, would have been a really, really cool piece for me.
Oh, absolutely.
One thing that's going to happen tomorrow, again, willing into existence, I'm going to meet Mike Piazza, and I have a piece of Citi Field wall, and I'm going to have the Hall of Famer, my guy, the vintage Mike Piazza, freaking sign this thing.
Yeah.
And
He's
one
tearing
day,
up.
yeah,
Oh, no,
I'm
I
excited
feel
for
it
the
in you, man.
moment.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hold it. I'm going to, we'll be smart, and we're going to give that to the Children's Hospital, donate it, find a reason.
are?
Yeah, dude. So how I got that, and this is where Pete's
Wow.
going to get involved. Pete loves gambling. Pete loves sports. So you can look it up. I'm not making this up. I was at the game. Lindor hit 2 home runs. I parlayed it. Opening day, maybe first or second year on the team. I turned to my buddy Matt Fisher, and I said, if he hits this home run, he already had one. If he hits this home run, I'm going right down into that memorabilia shop, and it's the Mets Foundation, and I'm buying a piece of the wall. And then on the train ride home, I'm going to tell every single person that I just took it as a memento, like from the, like, I was like, I was so excited. It was such a great win. I just took it. They're like, what do you mean you just took it? So, like, people were taking pictures of me on the subway saying, like, yo, this guy robbed Citi Field, the wall. But it looks like a sound bar. It's a blue piece of the wall, and it's got a little, like, QR code that says, like, this is where it used to sit, and a picture of
How
where
cool is that?
where they took it down. I'm going to have him sign. I think it's awesome. I wish Seaver was still here. I would have had all our Hall of Famers. One day meet Beltron, have him sign it, but at least have Mike right there front and center in the middle of it.
What a cool story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think all this stuff is cool because, like, what I think about, I have 3 kids. So, like, I don't collect cards, but I collect hats.
Yeah.
So, like, my kids are going to have sick vintage hats from Chicago and Philly. So, like, again, the same thing with the cards, like, stuff that you can pass on and, like, you know, the mantles that you have or whatever, like, your kids be like, this is so expensive. Like, this is beautiful. And that you can pass that on, and then it continues and it continues.
It's an heirloom. It's something that connects them to you, and it's something that you think about in the long term. Love that. And you're donating that piece?
Yeah. So we do a lot with the Children's Specialized Hospital.
Yeah.
We actually, Todd Frazier, New York Yankee, New York Met, was home run derby champion,
Cincinnati
Little
Reds.
League World Series champion,
Yeah,
Tom
I mean,
Zerver.
he's a legend.
We do a pong tournament with him, and I'm on the chair of it, and I was like, it's just those kids mean the world to us, and I want to donate it.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, we'll do it smart, like maybe an auction or something, or try to get as much money as possible. But yeah, the moment he signs it, mission accomplished.
Well,
for
yeah,
him.
when you do, let me know, because my audience, I have
Yeah.
a ton of Mets guys, and I think it'd be super cool to help raise
heck
money
yeah.
for that.
Go.
I think that's amazing. I was, you mentioned Seaver. I was in Los Angeles a couple weeks ago for the West Coast Card Show, and I was in an event in Beverly Hills at Heritage Auctions. They had like a sort of like a VIP showing night of what was coming. They are auctioning Seaver's private family collection. His family's deciding
Right,
to
his
sell it.
ring is
Yeah.
going for like $800K, right?
Rookie of the Year trophy. His is it Rookie of the Year or a Cy Young trophy? I got to
Cy Young.
remember. But
Stevie Cohen better buy all that.
yeah, no,
that's all I'm saying.
They, his family was there actually at the event where I was. I didn't get a chance to meet them, but I mean, anytime you see a big private collection of an ex-player like that to that stature is notable. So
And look, like one could argue he made more money. I mean, he played for decades. Like 69, he was on the Mets, and then in the 80s, he's still on the Mets. I think he made more money producing wine and in the booth, because like back then you just didn't play players the way you did.
Yeah,
so
no, for sure.
I mean, and also like they're gonna go to places that they could take better care of that collection than the Seaver family could have.
yeah,
So that's cool though.
absolutely, man. So I got some stuff in here that I'm dying to
go.
show you guys. And
Let's
he
go.
mentioned to me that he was a Harmon Killebrew fan earlier. And, he gave me like maybe an hour
Right.
of time, but I did find a Harmon Killebrew rookie
Are
that I
you
wanted to show him.
serious?
So, and look at this, Mets, Nolan Ryan.
Ah,
Check
dude,
that
the
out.
one that got away.
1969
This is the
Nolan
original
Ryan.
Zach Wheeler. Nolan Ryan, dude. Also,
So we
shout
can-
outs to Texas for doing that bloody jersey giveaway.
Yeah.
That's
Very cool
awesome. dude.
So
Giveaway.
we'll worm my way up here. So that's a Harmon Killebrew rookie. This is a classic card that I'll sell. Both of these are cards that I would sell on a Sunday night live show. A lot of the stuff that I sell live, price points between $100 and $2,000.
Man.
So this is a classic. Second year Nolan Ryan card,
Yeah.
awesome set. This one here, Harmon Killebrew. This is his rookie card, 1955 tops, PSA 5, good looking card. I just picked it up on the show floor. Guy had it stickered for $400, which is honestly about what it go for.
Yeah.
I got him to $350. I felt
Good
pretty
job.
about it,
All
so.
right.
But what I'll do is I'll take it now and go sell it on my live show. Try to get it to the right collector.
Right.
I'll probably shoot for around that sticker price, and then go to the next thing. But what I love to do is on the higher end. So we're going to ramp it up quickly. We're going to go to some heat. I do vintage baseball, but I also, just by circumstance right now, have
get
some crazy vintage
outta
basketball.
here.
So I'm going to show you some crazy vintage basketball, and then I'll mix it in with some baseball stuff. We'll do a little bit of everything here. We're going to
Okay.
talk history. We'll talk about some of these guys. How much time do I got, by the way,
That's,
on air?
dude, we're gonna run this, and then
All
you're
right.
just doing our job for us, and then we could call it a night.
As long
and
as
we're
it's
gonna
before
go watch.
Team USA
Yeah,
plays
team,
at
yeah,
8.
that's,
Before
that's
Team
Yeah,
USA.
you got an hour and 15 minutes. We only have 60 minutes, 70 minutes to chop up for the air. So
Okay, cool. Well,
yeah.
you tell me when, because I can talk baseball history, and
no,
baseball
yeah, you
cards
got,
for a long time.
You're flying great.
So we'll start with this stuff, and then maybe we'll go back into the case. But this is some of my favorite stuff that I wanted to show you guys. So I'm a big Yankees fan. I picked this up recently, and this is one of the cards that when I bought it, I initially thought I was going to be selling it just because of my business. I'm always buying and selling cards. But if you look at the eye appeal of this card, it's unbelievable. What I got in my hand is a 1933 Gowdy SGC 2.5
What?
Lou Gehrig.
Big league chewing gum.
With the NBA Diamond sticker, which is an interesting kind of trend that's happening right now in the sports card hobby. So with vintage baseball cards, there's a lot of variance when you look at these cards. Obviously, they're all graded differently, ranging between 1 and 10. Everything up to 9 has half grades. But this is a 2.5. But if you look at the centering of this card, the color of this card, the quality of it, this is a very good eye appeal 2.5. So there's a new company, Mike Baker, MBA. He was one of the original graders of PSA. He's been putting these stickers on cards that are of high eye appeal. And if you get this sticker, the card goes for even more money in the aftermarket. But it verifies that it's a good-looking card. And when I got this card in the deal, I had it in my hand. I was like, this is a tough one for me to sell now.
Right.
So this might be a PC card for me. I just love Lou Gehrig. I love his story.
Unreal, dude.
If I could nerd out a little bit about Lou Gehrig, he, to me, doesn't get the same credit he deserves because of the fact that he played alongside Babe Ruth, the most, infamous American athlete up until probably one of these guys we'll talk about here in a minute. But he's just an enigma. And Lou Gehrig was just as good, if not better, than Ruth in so many different
Yep.
ways. He was a quieter player. He, for almost 100 years, held the consecutive games record, most games played, before Cal Ripken broke
We
that.
just talked about that last segment.
Yeah, we talked. I've got a beautiful Cal Ripken rookie in a PSA 10 grade here today too. But Lou Gehrig, just a great man, had unbelievable discipline in his life. Was consistent as all hell, and unfortunately, gone way too soon with what we would now call Lou Gehrig disease. And I don't know. To me, he's an iconic Yankee, and I love him. So I love that card.
He's built like a horse.
He was the Iron Horse.
He was huge.
His thighs were massive.
Dude, some of those pictures that you see, you're just like, damn, this guy is stacked.
Yeah.
Well, like, you ever see when Aaron Judge holds this bottle? It looks like one of those little nips in his hand. It's nuts, dude.
It is crazy.
But yo, that blows my mind because on Sunday we have the founder Rob Nelson of Big League Chew, and he's only 77 years old. This is a company,
there you go,
Big League Chewing Gum.
I like that you bring that up. So this is from the Gowdy company. 1933 Gowdy is the set.
Right.
This was the first set ever that included bubble gum. So for baseball cards, up until this point, I've got 2 cards here that I can show you guys. This is a 1909 Cy Young. That's a T206.
Is this out of a cigar thing? Or?
That was a cigarette card. So in the 1910s, 1920s, they were marketing them with cigarettes. Now, the 33 Gowdy set comes out, and we go, let's put bubble gum in it and really drum it up and market towards children. So the 33 Gowdy set became a massively popular smash hit success. So 33 Gowdy, first set with bubblegum, then following in 1934, they released it again. And, now today, when you guys think of baseball cards, it's pretty synonymous with bubblegum. So many people think about opening packs in the 80s and the 90s with the really crappy tasting gum in their mouth. And, this set did it. And so I love the 33 Gowdy. Love that you called that out. It's a really cool part. But
if they start putting them in Zen packs, I'll start collecting.
He's a collector. They should bring back Pogs and put them in Zens.
We'll get some Zen cards.
We're on to something. No, when we talked about, I've had Rob on the show before, and the fact that my daughter has no idea that that's based off tobacco.
Yeah.
Right? She just thinks it's a pouch with shredded gum.
Right.
Like, she has no idea. She's not putting it inside of her mouth and, having it pop out like I did, mimicking Lenny Dykstra. She's doing it in a whole different form, and they actually outlasted that tobacco. Not Zins, though.
So we're going to go a little bit further in time now. The next cards I want to show are 1951 Bowman Mickey Mantles. I brought 2 of them with me to the show.
Stands. I have them. I'm sorry.
4.5 and 5.5 here. And additionally from this set, I also have the Ted Williams and the Willie Mays. So 51 Bowman is a really important set in baseball history because of the fact that Willie Mays and Mickey Mantle both make their appearances for the first time in that set. So both of their rookie cards are 51 Bowman. Here they are side by side right next to each other. Bowman also was a bubblegum company, so bubblegum was in these cards. Willie, believe it or not, I actually, as somebody that's not in the sports card world, who do you think would be valued more, Mickey Mantle or Willie Mays?
I would say Mickey Mantle.
Yep, Mickey Mantle's correct. But what I find interesting, so he's holding a Mickey Mantle, or a Willie Mays rookie in a PSA 6.
New York Giant,
And
New York Met.
Let's talk about now a Mickey Mantle rookie in a PSA 4.5. So we're talking a grade and a half below that card. This card trades for about the same as that, even in a grade and a half lower. Now, this card is a 5.5, and that's a 6, so pretty comparable condition. This card trades for significantly more than him, even though he's a little bit lower in grade. So Mickey Mantle is just king in the vintage market. People love him. It's a massive, category. But yeah, I love the Willie Mays rookie card. To me, is very undervalued if you look at it. Yeah, there's a beautiful 53 Jackie.
Yo.
Yeah.
Where Brooklyn at? I'm from Brooklyn. I got to tell everybody that.
Yeah, PSA 8, massive card there. I mean,
I'm shaking holding it.
Yeah,
I'm scared.
That's a $50,000 card. It's a big card. Yeah. The mantles here are about.
We're worried about
30,
somebody
40.
stealing our camera.
Yeah, no. I mean, we're looking at probably $500,000 in front of me right now. So
so I want to bring that up. We talked about how this
yeah.
is an art, but also you mentioned you're from the financial background.
Yeah.
This is the stock market right here.
Yeah.
This is investing in gold. This is investing in fossil fuel.
Yes.
Like, this is that type of stuff. And I know there's things going on in the background. Curtis Granderson's trying to teach kids the hobby in a way that it's kind of a a business,
Yeah,
and you could learn investments this way.
I was, I just had Sam Evans on my podcast a couple weeks
Sam is
ago
awesome.
talking about this initiative, the Youth Collectors Club initiative, and essentially what they want to do in partnership with Curtis Granderson is teaching kids the foundations of the hobby and like teaching them basic principles of entrepreneurship, buying and selling cards, understanding what fair market value is, making sure that, you're getting your cost basis covered, understanding what gross and net profit is. But also what I like about their initiative, because yes, this is a business and very much for me, like I make my livelihood on buying, selling, and brokering these cards, but also like not letting go of the joy of collecting cards, because like at the end of the day, that's why people are here to begin with. People love collecting,
Ripping
and you can't
a pack
lose that.
is nothing. There's
nothing like
better. Like I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So what's the goal for these cards then?
For me personally?
Yeah.
Yeah, so most of these I'm selling. I would say, outside of this Garrig, which is tugging at my heartstrings. So a couple of the big buys that I had this week that I am looking to sell. You've got the trinity here of Michael Jordan rookie cards. So what I've got in my hands here, this is a signed 1986 Fleer Michael Jordan rookie. This is in a Beckett 7.5 auto grade 7. What's unbelievable about this card is that this is an early playing career signature of Michael Jordan. So this is
and
the
he
most.
Doesn't sign that often,
He
right?
does not sign because he has exclusive contracts with Upper Deck, which he signed in 1992.
And this is.
So that was signed in 1986 to 88. I've got provenance and a letter of authenticity stating when he signed it. But it's a beautiful looking signature as well. And that is super important for autograph collectors that are looking at cards. For that card to come to market, it's crazy. Just to give you some context of how rare this card is, like this does not surface, at least privately. You'll see this card go in the major auction houses, like front page news type of stuff.
Right.
This Michael Jordan, there are over 20,000 graded copies like this. This is an 86 Fleer in a Beckett 9.5. So this is basically near perfect condition without the signature. There are about 20,000 of these graded in existence.
Okay.
There are only 100 signed copies in existence.
Yeah, chef, give that back to me.
So
Gordy.
of the 20,000, there are only 100 total signed. Now, if we want to break that 100 down one layer further, if you stay with me, out of that 100, there are only roughly 10 of them that were signed in the 80s.
Okay.
So this is a crazy, like there are 20,000 plus graded. There's literally a couple, 10 of those.
It's insane.
So for me, I bought this earlier this week. A guy came to me that was in the real estate world, had a really unique opportunity for him to purchase commercial real estate property, and he had these Michael Jordans, and he needed to sell them like immediately. I was very fortunate to be the guy he reached out to. I closed the deal for the signed one, and then additionally, another important 1984 star Michael Jordan in a PSA 6. So the 84 star card has a lot of history as well, guys, because up for debate between these two cards, what is Michael Jordan's true rookie? Because as you heard me say, this is 1986 and this is 1984. And if you're talking about a rookie card, you want to talk about the first time he ever appears on cardboard.
Right.
So that would be the 84 star. And you saw the market respond to that in 2022 when PSA started grading these. Because up until 2022, only Beckett was even recognizing these because of counterfeit problems that people saw in these cards. PSA stepped forward. They had enough confidence to say, we know how to identify truly authentic 84 star cards, and the market went actually bonkers for this card. Like, as it trades right now, the last two public sales of this card are 63,000 and 54,000. If you looked at where this card was trading a few years ago, it was probably trading around 25, 30,000. Like, it's doubled in the last year or two.
Wild.
So really big cards for me to get to purchase, and again, as part of my business and what I do, like I am going to be selling these. And, it's exciting to get to hold these and get to be a part of the history with it.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I love to do is the conversations I have with the other collectors who also own, buy, sell, and trade these. Because at this category, it's oftentimes guys who own businesses, have a lot of discretionary income, want to invest into different, hard assets. I loved what you were talking to earlier. You referenced gold.
Right.
And I think the gold trade, if you guys have been following the market on gold this year, gold, silver, copper, anything that's really considered a physical asset, it has exploded in value. And I'm noticing that a lot of new buyers are coming to this market because they're attracted to this being a physical asset. And if you look at the way that gold has moved, I do think it has something to do with a similar trend to what's happening in sports cards.
And you can see that in other things like physical media, right? Because everything is streaming now stuff. like me and my brother would collect DVDs. Like we would love to collect DVDs.
Yeah.
And we have shelves and shelves of DVDs because it is physical media. It's something I can put in
And
to
collect.
a player and collect. And I mean, it's not valued, but just having it, being able to hold it, as opposed to like, oh, I have to rely on Netflix or Apple, whatever,
Right.
to stream this stuff. I actually own this media. So again, it's like you're physically own the physical media. of
Yeah,
it.
dude, I love that.
Yeah, Mets, Phillies, London. I bought they had an option for $20 more. They'll send you a ticket, like a stub from
Yeah.
it. And I was like, I want that. I
Right.
want that memory I could look at. Because that's gone, right? They don't print out when you go to a game now. Like,
Yeah, that's bogus,
you know?
man. Like
Yeah.
I miss that.
I
There's
have a Hojo signed All-Star game.
Hojo again.
He
This
loves
guy.
his
Yeah.
Hojo.
Yeah, I
He loves his
love
Hojo.
Hojo.
Yeah, I got a Hojo signed card. And,
It's worth 12 cents right here. Like in my
Yeah.
compare notes, he's at $1 million.
Yeah.
I'm at like $12
Yeah.
and a bottle cap. But yeah, he's my man, dude. How do you get around like? Yeah, this I would want security. I have anxiety just knowing them. Here.
Yeah, I will say it is. I don't typically say how much money I'm carrying.
Right,
I think,
right.
As I've grown more notoriety in the industry now,
Right.
like I have a bigger social media presence than I did a year ago.
Yeah.
It's something I have to start thinking about more seriously. My family does always, get on me to be, as careful as I can be. And I am. Like, I always make sure where my surroundings are. I mean, this case is literally duct taped to my hand. I never lose sight of my
Insane.
cards. But, yeah, I mean, security is a huge part. And, now you're actually starting to see a rise in insurance companies focused on
Right,
I took
I
a
was
picture
gonna
of
say
this.
that.
Is that okay?
Yeah, of course,
I
man.
didn't know what all this, if that was like private
Yeah,
information.
no. Hey, if you got a buyer, let me know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I mean, insurance companies are noticing how much value is here and making sure that people can insure their collections, both when they're walking on the show floor, but even in their own homes too.
love
This
it.
stuff needs to be locked up. So, but yeah, I mean, incredible cards here, and I just love the history that you can dive into when you're talking about these. I mean, Roberto Clemente, another guy. You talk about history of baseball.
Yeah.
Like the great one. He was incredibly influential for his time, and another guy, similar who we were talking about earlier, just another guy that was gone too soon.
Yeah. And the only jerseys I have right now, Jackie, Clemente, and Kenny Powers. That's
Wow.
all I'm rocking right now. Just so you know, yeah. My last name's Powers, so I had to, the minute. Well, first off, I went through.
Kenny Powers.
Yeah, well, we'll go down the whole, like, Powers is the coolest last name you could ever ask for, right? We can all agree on that. Except for the fact that Austin Powers rolls up and ruins my entire fan base.
That's the greatest
Like,
trilogy of all time. I don't think
never
so.
watched it because
You've never watched it?
I refuse to watch it.
Oh
Even when they
my
brought in
God.
Beyonce to try to get me to peak, I refuse to
No.
watch it. I'm so heartbroken because everybody's like, "How's your brother Austin?" I was like, I never heard that before. Prior to that, the Power Rangers, right? So like people would be like, "Oh, like Go Power Rangers." It's like, no, like Mike Powers. That's who I am. So Kenny Powers came back and put respect on my last
Put
name.
respect on that name.
Yeah, so shout out to number 55, Kenny Powers.
But yeah, I mean, if you look at these two guys, Roberto Clemente, Jackie Robinson,
Yeah.
I mean, they will stand the test of time. Long after
Yep.
I am gone, we're all
Amen.
no longer here. Like, people will know who Jackie Robinson and Roberto Clemente are.
Beyond the sport, too, beyond
yeah,
the game.
absolutely.
Like, yeah,
He's an American hero.
Yes.
He's an American icon.
Amen.
It's
Amen.
beyond that, dude. So
Yep.
that's why I also, to the beginning of our conversation, when you were talking about investing into this, it's like Jackie Robinson's never not going to be recognized. And
Right.
this is a way to, in a sense, like invest into Jackie Robinson and
Yep.
invest into his historical contribution.
Yep.
There's some incredible Jackie Robinson stuff that's on the show floor here that if you guys get time to walk it, I could try to show you some of the
Cool.
original photography and stuff that exists of his. And, a lot of the really, really desirable stuff, like handwritten letters that he made. And
dude, I read that whole book where he was at Cock Full of Nuts. Is that the
Chock full of nuts.
Yeah, sorry. Did I
Yeah,
say?
yeah.
Ah, what
Timestamp
time?
that one. Yeah.
Dude, we had this pep talk that we weren't gonna say any, like, because it's being edited and dubbed, and we gotta. So at 7:01, I said instead of
Chock full of nuts. Yeah, that's funny.
Chalk, yeah. So, but it was letters him and world leaders back and forth.
Yeah.
Like about different political views. Him and Martin Luther King disagreeing on something. Him and JFK. Dude, he was sitting there at his desk writing off these notes. It was like letters from Jackie or something. Tremendous book. Got me through college. Got me
Get outta here.
that. And so I specialize in history and special education.
Dude.
Dude, so there was a kid, dude, Jackie crushed it. And then there was a kid, an autistic kid in upstate New York who got to play the last game of his senior year basketball. Like, he was like the manager, and they put him in for the last 2 minutes. He drops like 30 buckets. I get goosebumps about it.
Oh.
So my argument was inclusion is king. Like, you have to include everybody, because once we get into this real world, like, it doesn't matter where you are. You're a part of this, right? So why are we taking them out of the classes? We shouldn't be doing that. Like, and people didn't agree. I played that 5-minute video of this kid just dropping buckets all over this court.
That's amazing.
And they're like, all right, yeah, you're right.
That's really cool.
The letters that I'm more interested in are the Mickey Mantle letters.
Oh, yeah. That has been some crazy stuff, man. He was...
What's going on under the bleachers? Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is nuts. I mean, some of that stuff that has provenance to the letter in that instance you're talking about, I don't remember the total dollar amount, but sold for a ton. I mean, sometimes when guys just have like big, FU money, they just think something's like kind of funny or quirky. Like,
right.
They're going to just spend because it's like, hey, you want to see like the letter Mickey wrote about?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it is funny. Like, when stuff grabs attention, it holds the test.
But that's like their version of a funny text that I might send you.
Right,
you know what I mean? Like,
Do you guys see that CIA guy who's like all over your For You page with the glasses? He's like a CIA agent, and he tells these crazy stories.
A little bit. Yeah.
He was saying he wanted to buy Abraham Lincoln's final turd. They captured it. He went to the bathroom before he got shot. They kept the turd, and they kept it, and it was on sale. And like, he told his wife, and they slowed down the video. He's like, "I'm gonna buy that turd."
Well, I did see something pretty badass on the Abraham Lincoln topic. A couple of notable pieces of his, like, presidential history is so cool. But the flag that was put over his casket
I saw
his
that.
funeral was sold. And
to like a restaurant.
Yeah,
right?
a restaurant
the
Lincoln room in this restaurant.
Right.
And I'm like, that is so cool,
wild, man. Yeah.
And there was in this most recent Heritage auction, there was a photograph that was the size of a trading card of Abraham Lincoln, and it's like a portrait of him, and he signed the bottom of the card, which that was a big money item. That was a 6-figure plus number.
Wow.
I don't remember what it sold for, but yeah, I love presidential history and stuff like that too. There's so much crossover when you're talking about American history, and for me, I think we're all baseball guys here, right? That's our favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, baseball history is
American history.
It is. It's so intertwined with it, and I love. I didn't know that you studied it in school.
That's cool,
but I mean, I love.
And I think baseball's been ahead of what's right and wrong.
It paved the way, man.
Yeah, it really did.
Yeah.
And it still hopefully will continue, and we won't go on strike in 2027.
Yeah, please, let's not.
It has the most nostalgia.
It really does.
Generation to generation, I think. Than any other sport. I think the nostalgia associated with baseball and generations of families, it's different than every other sport.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Baseball was my first love and passion. My biggest passion sports-wise now outside of baseball is golf. And
all right.
I'm a massive golfer. Like, if I'm not doing, if I'm not working within the hobby, I'm at a card show or doing something like this. I'm either with my wife or I am on a golf course.
That's awesome.
I play as much golf as I can. And one of the correlations that you have with golf to baseball is that history and that tradition and that nostalgia. I think, it's just an amazing game. It teaches you a lot. It teaches you a lot about patience and failure, which is also baseball. The greatest Hall of Famers of all, Ted Williams, considered the greatest hitter of all time. He failed 7 out of 10 times.
Yep.
So in golf, like, most of the time you fail too. Like, you very rarely hit the exact shot you wanted to.
Yeah, we fail a lot.
You guys play? You guys play a lot?
So the podcast Swing It and Ding It. Shout outs to Moose, Danielle, and shout
them out,
Jeff,
Harry Mays. Moose is Jeff. But we just did Cobb's Creek. Are you familiar with that?
I have heard.
So it's insane. They're resurrecting that. That's like if by brick you rebuilt like old Yankee Stadium or Ebbets Field. That's essentially what they're doing at Cobb's Creek. And we've been on the journey from the first bulldozer that went there to playing the short course that they already opened.
Who's redesigning it?
Tiger Woods Learning Center and the community. So it's going to be a community course, but Tiger Woods designed it.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
so it's
unbelievable.
Awesome. And 2 other top-notch designers. I'm sorry, I'm just the producer. They'll be like, come on, Powers, we go through this every time. But I suck at golf, but we have Philly golf as a thing. I would love to take you out with the guys and shoot around on some of these.
I warn you, I will take you up on it.
All right.
Anytime I get offered golf, like I remember like who offered it, and I'm like, hey, you down to play?
We have an we have an open Legacy in Cherry Hill. It's called the Fox Sports Swinging and Dinging Open.
Okay.
It's a charity event, so it'd be cool. Like if we could, figure something. Maybe that's I don't want to auction off there, but like you said, maybe we'll figure out something. For that,
dude,
for that piece of the wall.
I love it. I can't. It's been such a brutal winter in the Northeast.
Yeah.
And I just can't wait to get out and golf, man. I'm actually. As soon as I get done with the show this weekend, I've been here for a couple more days. I'm flying down to Florida, and I got a golf trip with my buddies. We're playing at the park, which just opened in West Palm Beach, Florida. Yes. So I'm excited for that. And then, yeah, man, I just can't wait.
So Danielle on the show is married to Brendan Matthews, who's on the tour, and they're in Jupiter. They live right across the street from Justin Thomas.
Yeah.
So, they get...
One of my faves. I love to watch him, man.
Yeah,
he's back this week, I think.
He is, yeah. So he's crushing. He's going to be awesome. He's such a good dude. Truist, when it was at Philly Cricket, Chef and I got the broadcast live from there, and doing behind the scenes with Paige Renee. Who else did we get? We got you name it.
There was those I hate that word. Those content creators from like YouTube and stuff.
You like content creator better than influencer?
I hate the word influencer. I hate it with a passion.
I didn't want to cut you off. I'll ask you about that in a minute, but keep going. Yeah.
It was that Brownlee guy, one of the guys from Dude Perfect.
Yeah.
The golfers there.
Yeah.
Who's a short guy? JJ Spawn. I get that sometimes.
Yeah.
Look like
Yeah,
a little
I
bit
get
of JJ.
that. I see you on that. Yeah, I see
JJ Spawn. He's tiny, but I'm like, yo, JJ, a little bit.
Rory hit a shot on Mother's Day. I was there. We wrapped up Friday. They had us there Friday, Saturday. Well, they had us there for the Creator Classic. So we're there that Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Saturday afternoon, they run out of merchandise. It was sold out. So they were like, yo, just go enjoy yourself. Don't broadcast anymore because you're just going to get people yelling at you because we're out of merch. Like, that's how busy. They did not realize how much Philly loved golf. So we're going to get more down here. Cops Creek is a huge part of that between me and you. Between me, you, and a million people. But they're gearing up. They're going to have enough to be able to host an actual PGA event. They bought more property of another course that was right across the street. And then, it was a bucket list Truist Championship. Philly Cricket was nuts, but Rory hits a shot on like 15, and he botched it. And next thing you know, we see a ball. Me and my daughter just walking like down the way, and we see a ball come in, and I was like, babe, get away from the ball! Get away from the ball! I'm like, Peyton, that's Rory's ball. So I have a video of us and standing next, and the guy was great. He was like, him and his daughter get front row, like everybody behind him.
Really?
Dude, we were like, as far as Chef is from me, that's where Rory took his shot.
That's awesome.
And the coolest thing is he had like his 3-wood or 5-wood in, and like he was going to hit a wood. His guy comes back and he's like, he took out an iron and laid up. So like it was cool that he listened to his guy because he was ready to slug that thing back onto the course.
I've never been to a PGA event. I did go to the Ryder Cup at Bethpage Black. I was there
awesome.
for one day, and I was there for the practice round. So I actually followed Rory and Shane Lowry around.
Was that good weather that day? Because I know they had, like it was like that day was good weather, right? The day you went, or no?
It was okay weather that day,
right.
But it was, that was crazy how they set that course up. Like it was way too easy, and it was painful to watch the Europeans just drill every putt. But it's interesting you bring up Philly golf. I did not expect to get to this point on the show, which I'm glad we did. I love that Philly might be hosting more golf because of, again, the history attached to that region of the country.
Yep.
And I've been recently getting into the golf architecture side of golf, and some of the greatest, golf course architects have great statement pieces in that region of the country.
Right.
But the reason that PGA hasn't really been able to play there is because they're a little bit shorter. They're not long enough courses.
Very true.
And I'd love for them to figure out a way to get exposure to that side of the country.
Even Philly Cricket, they had to get creative.
Yeah,
they had to get, and
also so cool you guys.
And
were
also,
there.
they were so much. It was so much smaller. They had to get creative with the grandstands. So like it became a situation where like they had to figure out a way to reroute it so that it ended with a crowd around it. And so I think 9 became 18 and 5 became 14 or something. I can't
really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I can't remember, but it was all mixed around, and it was cool. We got to watch that from the beginning, and it was awesome.
So one, a sports card and golf story that I have, a good buddy of mine, Tyler Schmidt, he works very closely with Gary V.
Yeah.
He kind of heads up a lot of the V Friends projects right
Awesome.
now. And me and him were playing golf because he's a Jersey guy as well. And when I texted him, I was like, let's play, let's get a little action going.
Yeah.
So we bet cards on the match. We played golf against each other. He put up a V-Friend card, and I put up a 1933 Sport Kings Walter Hagen, a beautiful 33 Gaudy Sport Kings Walter Hagen. And I was like, I'm going to win this. I'm not going to, worry about losing it. And sure enough, wheels came off on the back nine. It's in Tyler's collection. I bring it up to him all the time. I think about it all the time. And when I play him again,
It's coming up.
I will get that card back.
Get it
Double or
back.
nothing.
Now, when you guys play, do you play with each other a lot?
So we
You
had.
tell me you're a
we had
gambler.
couple,
Do you put a little action on it? is what I wanna
so we
know.
will. I think that's. See, the problem is it's when I go out with Chef, it's really we're just broing it out, right?
Or
we-
recording stuff
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
So it's never like
You record while you're golfing?
like when we went to the cricket club, we have our cameras, we're
Yeah.
do interviews, stuff like that.
And
So
then we
it's-
did that Todd Frazier thing. Remember in Tom's
Yeah,
River?
yeah,
That was
we straight up golfed that day.
Yeah,
yeah.
It was still we drank.
Yeah.
We just,
I've got this idea that I really want to do this year, and I've been hesitant to infuse golf into my content, but I do think a lot of my clients also, the guys that are buying higher-end
Yes.
sports cards, they golf a
of
lot.
course.
So
yeah. Part of finance. And
I want to infuse, play 9 holes, I'll show you 9 cards. And, the first hole, I show off a
You show
Garrett
me
card.
yours, I'll show you mine.
Yeah, just I
would
think
be-
there's a way to infuse
There's
golf
gotta be,
content
yeah.
with it. So.
I'll do a deep dive, find out if a Justin Thomas is into this, and be
Yeah.
like, yo, my buddy's gonna golf with you on your course, but he's gonna bring $9 million worth of 9 cards. I'm just kidding.
Dude, there's some golf
Yeah.
cards that are big money. I mean,
Right.
I bought a Bobby Jones 33 Sport Kings and a Bobby Jones rookie card this week. I'm keeping them for myself because I just love them so. I'm such a golf junkie.
I was a huge Bobby Jones guy, but he was the one that played for the Mets and really sucked.
No,
I'm just kidding.
No, what's funny? Bobby Jones was a manager for the minor league team that I worked for. My first job when I was in school, I was
Really?
in college. It was my first sales job ever. Was a sales guy for the Sussex County Miners. And
Okay.
the manager of the Miners was Bobby Jones.
That's hilarious.
That's a crazy callback. But dude, I'll tell you a story on that. First, again, I love sales. I'm a people person.
Me too.
I'm thankful that I found something that I'm good at. But in that stage of life where I had no idea how to do it, I kid you not, the general manager of the team on my first day just came up to my desk and he put a phone book on. That's all he gave me was a legitimate 400-page phone book, and he just said here's your calling list. Please sell us tickets. And so I was calling churches and different groups that I found in the yellow pages of this book to try to book group tickets to come to this Miners game.
Right.
And so I got my first stage of getting comfortable on the phone and just cold calling people and building
Smile
relationships.
and dial.
That's
so
it,
cool,
dude.
man.
It is, and
That's awesome. I love sales, that aspect. That paid for my college. My dad got sick, and I worked at Circuit City, and then for PC Richard and Son for 15 years of my life.
Get outta
And
here.
Yeah,
Wow.
just building relationships. But yeah, I bought my first apartment at 18, first house at 20. Yeah, I made a lot of money on
this
TV.
man is a hustler.
TVs back then were as much as these. So you sold a Sony 32-inch TV.
That was
you
some
ate
bread.
for weeks. You ate for weeks. I would sell 2 of them and then go to the
Really?
movies. And I was like,
A
all right, I'm
TV.
done for the day.
A
Yeah,
TV.
I swear. Yeah.
Now tell me through the
Now-
sales cycle what selling a TV looked like back then.
So a lot of it was explaining the technology, right? So there was 2 of them, HD and ED, and a lot of the old people would laugh because a lot of the old men thought it was erectile dysfunction.
right.
But yeah, it was essentially the coolest part was Sony did it kind of like the Game Boy. If you remember, they didn't give you color and then they didn't give you a backlight until we were all almost 20-something years old.
Huh.
And so Sony did it where they had a 26-inch and a 32, and they were more expensive than the 42-inch Panasonic or Samsung. People bought it because of the brand. They wanted it. So I knew to show them the 42, and I knew to show them the 37-inch Sylvania, but I knew I was going to take them back to the Sony. And then after I sold them the Sony 32-inch, guess what came out the next year? Guess what came out the next year?
34.
The Sony 40-inch.
Oh, wow.
And then 46-inch.
So it was an upgrade cycle.
Then 50. Yeah, so it was the same customer over and over again, and I knew if I built that rapport, they would come back each year.
Yeah.
And I just kept building my dynasty. And then I was going to school to be a teacher. Gary Richard bought our Circuit City building I worked at. He hired me and my brother, and he wanted us to work there for life. I still feel like I'm part of the team. I love them, but I decided to 3 years ago go on to this venture. But,
Hell yeah.
Mike, I worked at Circuit City too, right?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Which one? I was 3692.
Which one in Illinois?
Oh, okay, Chicago.
You know the worst time to sell televisions in the year? When do you think the worst time to sell a television?
I'll say
because they were getting returned.
I was saying
Super Bowl.
1999.
Super Bowl.
Yeah. I
I
meant
thought you were giving me a
Super
year.
Bowl.
Super
Right
Bowl.
before the Super Bowl, you get these schmucks that come
Yeah.
in and they're just like, the biggest TV. And I'm just like, I am never going to see this commission.
So true, dude.
It's going to come back and it's going to be
See
an
ya.
open box. I'm like, oh my God.
That's interesting. I love hearing people's career journeys as
Cool.
well.
Thanks,
My last job that I had before I went full time on this, I was like a recruiter in New York, and I was helping people with their career journeys.
That's
and
cool.
I think I don't know. It's amazing to see people find their passion and build something that they love to do. I think this is awesome that you went in on this 3 years ago.
Like what's crazy is like 2015, I started making funny like videos while the Mets and the Cubs were playing in the playoffs, and all my friends were like, "Yo, you should do this. You should do this." And I found a company called Spreaker that's now owned by iHeart, and I created my own podcast. I was ranked 5th because there was nobody else doing it yet.
Doing
Like I was
podcasts.
ahead of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
we were ahead of the curve. Ranked 5th in all of sports. We had a 2% following in Sweden because it was a Swedish company.
Interesting.
Yeah, then Spreaker got bought by iHeart. During COVID, I realized everybody was sitting at home doing nothing. I reached out to Alex Rodriguez. I had him on my show. We had entrepreneurs, people that were still working during COVID, doctors, musicians that couldn't play at their local bars, DJs that were impacted by it. And he owns 10% of Presidente because they wanted to keep it Dominican-owned.
Yep.
So we had happy hours and Zoom happy hours, and we got national attention.
That's so cool, dude.
yeah.
I love that. I love. I mean, one
Not
of my
nearly as cool as this collection. I got nothing to show
Nah,
for it other than
no way, dude.
pictures
A
and
fridge full of Presidente.
yeah. and people telling me I suck on my
No, dude, I can tell you're passionate about it. And
Thanks, man.
entrepreneurship, to me, like, I think it takes one to know one as well in terms of what
Amen.
you go through that experience. And
Yeah.
then, ultimately at the end of the day, like, I just believe you're only here once,
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Go follow
I'd rather
your
have the
passion.
memories than the regret, right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
don't know.
you and I were talking before the show started about what it's also like when you're a solo man trying to build something on your own. You've built an incredible following. Your Instagram page looked incredible.
Yeah, he's the
But
man.
it's, it's challenged. There's great days. There's, bad days. There's a lot of stuff in the middle.
Oh, yeah. I was telling Mike, I had a mental breakdown yesterday that bled into today. And it's just, a part of it, But one thing that I learned along your career journey is, like, your job is never safe. You think I work here, blah, blah, blah. Like, they will let you go in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So if you're not working for yourself in some kind of capacity, you are always depending on somebody else for your paycheck to provide for your family. So that's one of the biggest things is, like, my father's an entrepreneur. He, instilled the lessons and building a business and a skill set, all that kind of stuff. And, like, you take that at some point in your life and you're like, I want to do this. Like, I want to work for myself. I'm sick of working for other people.
With that said, I want to shout out our sponsor, Indeed.com. No, I'm just kidding.
I believe it, though. They do a lot of podcasts.
Oh, they really
sponsors,
do. They really
Indeed.
do. Them, the Get Better Help people, they're all over. Like, I said it in the car the other day. No, I might have said it. Radio, like, it's accidental, like, law. Like, did you get hurt in an accident?
Yeah.
Call this person. It's Better Help. It's now GLP-1 and Indeed and gambling. Like,
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
the 5 pillars.
There is a lot of gambling ad spend that's definitely happening, and I'm surprised you don't see a little bit more crossover. Honestly,
Yeah.
this is something I would pound the table on. As somebody that's in the media world now in the sports collectible space, like, if you're somebody that is controlling ad dollars for a big brand, just look at the amount of people here right now.
We tried to explain it, dude.
And
yeah.
if you get like a blue chip type of company that's just like,
Yep.
how can I get exposure to a million
loyal.
Right.
dudes.
Loyal.
You know, also like this
Right.
is mostly all guys in here. Let's be real. But that's helpful. Like if you're a Home Depot or like a Harry's Razors or whoever, it's like, how do I get access to 1 million males with discretionary income? It's like, hey, the sports card collectibles market is exploding, and the audience and attention that these creators have and that these podcasts and these shows have, like these guys are watching them because they want access to see these cards.
Yeah.
But hey, by the way, like if you want to integrate your brand into this.
And also they have money, right?
Yeah,
they have money.
They have
money.
It
No,
baffles me.
Harry's would be a good one too,
Oh my
because
God.
all these kids are going to be shaving soon.
I would
You know
love
what
it.
I mean?
I would love a ticketing agency and then parlay it into a actual ticket. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like if I'm from the hobby and I use your ticketing company and
Opening day.
you're I have the option to click for $5-10 more, one of one.
Have a physical ticket.
Like almost like a Topps Live.
I love it. I think there's so much innovation that's still yet to come in this industry, and
Agreed.
I think the thing that's going to balloon it further is when you start to see all of these other companies look at this and be like, man, this is not just these are not
That's
your
why
dad's
we're
baseball
here. That's
cards.
why we're here. And
Yeah. That's great, man.
Yeah, 3 years ago I talked to Christy and I said, we started Fox Sports The Gambler when gambling was still a bad word, right? I was like, I want to start within the hobby because one, it's not a bad word. It's pretty cool. It's nostalgia. It's kids and it's 40-year-old men and 9-year-old kids. Like that's pretty much right where we're at. And it's so cool to open Pokemon cards and
Look at
baseball
this
cards with my daughter.
Right?
He's so excited.
Dude, that's what it's all
How cool is
about,
that?
my
That is
man.
so cool.
I mean, I love everything you said there, and I'm just so bullish in this category in so many different ways. And the fact that you guys are here
Amen.
and like doing this type of content now, I think you'll see the rewards of it. I'm sure you have already, but like the type of stuff that's coming.
Oh, it's cool. We're meeting people like you, like every day, and it's like we're all trying to Voltron this thing in.
Yeah.
And I know there's going to be a day when we're working in some other capacity. So
Yeah.
this has been awesome, Gordy. I appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you both having me.
Thank
a ton,
you
man.
so much.
This was such a cool highlight for the show, and if anybody that's listening that wants to connect further with me, any place that you could find me at Bonkers Cards on all social platforms: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Subscribe all there, and on my newsletter at bonkerscards.substack.com. I have a weekly podcast as well, the Gordy Bonker Show. I talk about vintage sports cards there.
Name.
Yeah, that is my name. So I'm very thankful to have a memorable name. So I appreciate you guys having me, and anybody in the audience that's interested in learning more. Would love to connect and talk more about it.
Sunday nights at 8.
Sunday nights at 8, Bonkers Cards Live, baby.
That is awesome. Gordy, thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Everybody, thank you. We're going to wrap it up from the Philly show. I am Mike Powers. This is Gordy Bonkers, Sheffield Shuffler. And this is Foul Back in the Stands on Fox Sports Radio. Thank you for tuning in. Tune in the rest of the week. Hopefully join us live at the Philly show. Take care.